Hello, Grissom Choir. This is Level 17 Music Theory Review. The main concept in Level 17 are triad types within a major key. So identifying the root triads using Roman numerals. This is a new concept for us. So in our major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we analyze the chord structures based off of Roman numerals. So looking at these Roman numerals, the do, that tonic, will be an uppercase I, Roman numeral 1, meaning that it is a major chord built off of the first scale degree. The second scale degree is a Roman numeral 2. It is lowercase because based off of the key signature, if you just build a simple chord, it will be minor. Roman numeral 3 will also be a minor chord based off of the key signature. 4 and 5 will both be major chords. 6 will be a minor chord. And then 7 will actually be a diminished chord. And remember, all of these are based off of the key signature. It'll make a little bit more sense here in a little bit. So some things to remember: key to root to get the Roman numeral. And these are the type of chords within any major key. So let's analyze this. This first example right here. Processed. We're going to find the key name. So looking at this first key signature, we can identify that we are in the key of A flat major. The key name, so A flat, is 1 out of the Roman numerals. This chord that is being drawn, the root of it, is D flat. So we are in the key of A flat major. A flat is our 1. The root, the bottom note of this chord, is D flat. So now we have to figure out which scale degree D flat is in the key of A flat major. So if we just list out our alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and we count that A as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We land on that D, D flat. So D flat in the key of A flat major is the 4th scale degree. So using that chart from earlier, we would label this chord as 4. Moving on to the second example, I'm going to do these next two with you. First, we have to identify the key signature. The key signature that we are in with 1 sharp is G major. Next, we look at the root of this chord. The root of that chord is on A because we are in the treble clef. So now you can list out the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now you have to figure out what scale degree this A is in the key of G major. So doing the order of our lines and spaces, we can determine that A is the 2nd scale degree in G major, because A comes right after G in our line space combination. We would label this chord as 2, a lowercase Roman numeral 2. This next example, we figure out what key signature we are in. Look at the last sharp. We go up 1. This would be the key of E major. Now we look at this bottom note. The bottom note of that chord is on D. So then we have to list our alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And now we have to figure out what scale degree D is in E major. So we would go 1, 2, all the way back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. E would be built on the 7th scale degree. So we would label this as a diminished 7th. What I'd like for you to do right now, pause the video, do these last 5 examples. When you're ready, play the video. We'll see if you get them correct. We now have to figure out what key we're in. Look at the last sharp. Last sharp is on G. We have to go up one to get the scale, to get the name of the key signature. So that last sharp is on G. We go up to A. This is A major. Bottom note is on F. Using our knowledge of the lines and spaces of the treble clef, we can determine that this chord is built on the 6th scale degree, and it is a lowercase Roman numeral 6. 1 flat, we are in the key of F major. This bottom note is A, so then we just count from F to A, F, G, A. This chord would be built on the 3rd scale degree. Look at the next to last flat. We are in the key of B flat major. Look at the bottom note. Bottom note is on F. Now we count from B all the way to F. B, C, D, E, F. Uppercase Roman numeral 5. This chord is built on the 5th scale degree. Last 2 examples. Look at the last sharp. Go up 1. We are in the key of D major. Bottom note ledger line is a C. We can then determine that we are building this chord on the 7th diminished scale degree. And last example on this section, next to last flat is the key signature, E flat major. Bottom note is A flat. Count from A to E flat. Count from E to A flat. E, F, G, A. This is built on the 4th scale degree. Now this process also works backwards. So we have to draw the chords on the provided staff using accidentals. So let's look at this first example. We are in the key of B major. B major. So if we list our alphabet out, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we're looking for a chord that's built on the 3rd scale degree, we would count B as 1, 1, 2, 3. This chord would be built on D. So we do our space, 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 or if you want to do it up the octave, line, line, ledger line. But I'm going to do the space, space, space because it's easier for me. Now that is the chord. All you have to do now is think like you're in the key of the key signature that's given to you. So B major, you have to list the sharps or flats that are in the key of B major. B major is a sharp key. So go backwards 1 in the alphabet to A, and then you do the order of the sharps until you get to B. So that would be until you get to A. So that would be F, C, G, D, and then A. These are the 5 sharps. These are the 5 sharps that are in the key of B major. Now we put any accidental next to a note that is drawn in that chord. So we would put a sharp next to D. We would put a sharp next to F. We would also put a sharp next to A. Next example, F major. F major is a flat key. It has 1 flat, and that flat is only B flat. So if F is our 1, we would count that F as 1, and going all the way to B, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, which would land on B. So we would draw this chord based off of the B line. B, D, and F. We've already determined the key, so you would put a flat symbol next to the B. Next example. Think like we're in the key of D major. If we draw that alphabet out, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we count that D as 1, D, E, F, G, and then starting over at A. A would be the 5th scale degree of D major. So we draw a note on A, and then we draw that chord. Next, we have to think like we are in the key of D major. D major is a sharp key. Go backwards one in the alphabet to C, and then do the order of the sharps until you get to C. F, C. There's only two sharps in the key of D major, F sharp and C sharp. Now all you've got to do is put sharps next to the notes that you drew earlier, and that would only be C sharp. So a chord built on the 5th scale degree of D major is A, C sharp, E. At this point, pause the video, go ahead and do these last 3 examples. Moving on, D flat major. D flat major with a 7th diminished scale degree chord. So if we list our A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we count D as 1, we can go all the way back. So this chord would be built on C. Go ahead and draw C, E, and G. Now you have to think like we are in the key of D flat major. D flat major has 5 flats in it. That would be B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and go one past it to G flat. Now all you have to do is put flats next to the notes that you drew. That would be E flat as well as G flat. G flat major 4 scale degree. List our alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. G is our 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, this chord would be built on C. C, E, G. Think like we're in the key of G flat major. G flat major has 6 flats: B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Now you put flats next to all of those notes. That would be C flat, E flat, and G flat. Last example, a diminished 6th scale built in the key of E major. Draw that alphabet out: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. E is our 1, F would be 2, G is 3, A is 4, B is 5, C would be 6. This again is built on C. C, E, G. Think like we're in the key of E major. It's a sharp key. You go backwards one in the alphabet to D, and then do the order of the sharps until you get to D. F, C, G, D. These are the 4 sharps that are in the key of E major. Put sharps next to the notes that you drew. That would be C sharp and G sharp. A minor 6th scale chord built in the key of E major is C sharp, E, G sharp. That is everything on Music Theory Level 17.